Hey everybody, AZ Badfish here. Welcome back to PrimeCraft Season 2. Today, we've got something special planned. I'm going to be doing something that I've never actually done before, and I was just grabbing some items. So, if you guys remember, in the last episode, we were out at the Mushroom Island, and I needed some sponges to help me clear off all the water. And I went out and I raided a nearby ocean monument. And while I was in there, I thought, you know, these prismarine blocks might be really useful for the Dominion stuff that's coming up. And even if it's not, I'm sure that, you know, I know I would definitely like some prismarine stuff and some sea lanterns. And then I remembered that there was this ocean monument out here that somebody had started working on already. And I asked in the Discord, and I guess a couple people answered that said it, they thought it was Skoozi, or not Skoozi. Skoozi's one of the people that answered. I thought it was Cee Dubb that had done this, and that really he was just after a couple guardians or something like that. So I mean, when I came out here last night, there was still elder guardians. I did actually already go in and poke around. You can see my little drop-in hole there. And I got the guardians, and unfortunately there was no sponge rooms in here. Either that or Cee Dubb maybe already got to them without getting the elder guardians somehow. But yep, so Cee Dubb, if you were planning on doing something with this, I guess sorry. But I'm going to go ahead and take over because you've already made such a nice square around this thing, and it's been up for quite a while. So I think what I'm going to do, I've got all these shulker boxes full of sand, and I want to come out here and make an easy way in. Of course, now my inventory is full, but I should be able to. Can I still open that? No, I can't. Alright, give that back. And of course, I can't. Okay, now I got it back. So I'm just going to get some sand out here, and can I put another one? Yeah, we'll just put them all over the ground. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, I am going to do that thing that I talked about in the last episode also, where we build the grid out so we can much more easily get our get the water cleared out of here. So I am going to, I guess I don't need that because there's one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy set up and start putting in that sand. Alright, so that's all done. Hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I gotta cut it up still. I've had thoughts of doing more than one in this episode because there's a lot of things I could do time lapse for, but I don't think I'm going to because this feels like one of those episodes that's going to end up being way, way longer than I planned on it being. So, the next thing, obviously, we got to get our sponges here. I am probably going to need more junk blocks than that. Alright, got a few more junk blocks now, and of course the sun is going down. But I wanted to try this out real quick, because I think what you do... Let's see. If you come one out... I think I can do it at this level, or does it have to be up here? I don't know. Let's try it out. See what happens. Probably going to mess it up. Yeah, oh, that looked like it worked. And then you do like 1, 2... Can I do 3, or just... Actually, you know what? That didn't work because it needs to be like that. Yeah. All right. So 1, 2. Is it 3? Yeah, it looks like it'd be 3. And then here. Okay. So then I just do that. 1, 2, 3, and then a sponge. And I'll just keep doing that all the way down. And then obviously we'll drop down here and start another layer. So this is going to take a while. So I will see you guys once it's done. Alright guys, so I'm back. You may notice my levels are gone. I've died like 3 times, I think now. I don't know. I guess 2 times. 2 times doing this. You know, getting it out there is no problem. You know, putting a line of sponges and netherrack or whatever, that's fine. But getting that stuff back is where the problem is. All the stuff falls in, I try to go get it, the guardians kill me, and then I have a terrible, terrible time. So, I've actually done a little bit of looking around on YouTube, and I found a guy called RichyPlays, and he's got a quick little tutorial. I'll put a link to his channel down in my description. Make sure you go check that out. But this is really simple. Little machine that I'm going to show you guys. So you want to go 1 under, like this, with a regular piston. Grab a slime block, put 1 there and 1 there. So you have a space, and then you're going to do the same thing here with a space between. Only in that space, you're going to put a sticky piston. Right? And then over here, you're going to go up 2 like that, and up 2 like that, and you can, I guess, use any solid block right here. I'm just using walls because I agree with Richie, who made the tutorial. I think it looks kind of cool. It's not important at all. Then you're going to jump up here. You're going to place a redstone block right there. Now, this will not work, I don't think, in Windows 10 or Pocket Edition or anything where quasi-connectivity is not a thing, because this little contraption relies entirely on quasi-connectivity, because as soon as I do this, it updates that piston with all that moving water. And now the pistons are just kind of firing back and forth because of that redstone block, and every time they move, they are, you know, removing those water source blocks. So this is actually removing 2 layers at a time, and it's quick too. You see how far? It's already more than halfway. It's almost at the end. So this seems to be a much, whoops, man, now I'm gonna have to swim all the way back. But this seems like a much quicker way, much quicker way. And yeah, you see this little, these like two lanes. I mean, they're disappearing as it moves along, so that's nothing to worry about. That's just a water source block that's on top, and you'll actually get to see that because we have to remove it. There's 1 or 2 left here. So you remove this one, and then as soon as you put a block here, this kind of goes nuts, but you know, you take them out. Nothing happens, it's fine. And then you just take the stuff out, throw it in reverse, and do it the other way. You do have this little corner thing here. So I think, yeah, once this gets to the other side, I'll throw another sponge up there, and then go back and forth like that. But yeah, this is much faster, much easier. I guess I didn't really. I do still need the sponges. You do still need the sponges. So at least that's good. And I don't feel so bad now that I didn't get nearly as many as I'd hoped to get. Hey guys, so I realized in the last clip I might not have explained this super well. So the quasi-connectivity means that basically this piston, because of this redstone block, it's powered, but he doesn't actually know it. He needs a block update. And normally, the way this works is the running water around it continually updates the piston, so it keeps firing back and forth. And of course, once this sticky or this slime block gets put on to that piston, it'll get powered the same way. It's all quasi-connectivity. So I've noticed that sometimes, for reasons that I don't fully understand, this thing just stops, and the way you fix it, to start it again, is just give it another block update by putting a block right there. And then it'll switch over, and then you do it again, and it starts going. So that's how that works. Alright, there we go. It's all drained out now. There is actually still a little spot kind of like back on the backside way underneath that is it's got water in it, but it's actually like underneath the monument. So as we tear this down, and once we get it all torn down, then we'll worry about draining underneath it. So yeah, as I just said, we're going to be tearing this thing down, and it's going to be a little dangerous because the only spawning spaces left for those guardians are now inside here. But on the other hand, it's a bunch of rooms, it's all separated by walls. So what my plan is to get in here and go like room by room, like I'll drain it out and then tear off the ceiling, and then if I can take down any walls, I will. Otherwise, I'll break through the walls and then drain out the next room and so on and so forth. So I guess I'm kind of busting here, and hopefully, there's no guardians in here, so that's good. I will temporarily block this off, and we'll drink a water-breathing potion and get going. And I'm done. That took a very, very long time. Excessive amount of hours spent doing that. And it was also pretty frustrating. So there's no video of it. It's not very family friendly, let's say. So the top two levels were actually pretty simple. I just ran through, it's mostly smaller rooms. I would drop some sponges, kill the guardians, whatever. But the bottom level is what really made it rough, because it's mostly big open areas that's full of water. The guardians are easy enough to deal with because you can get around pillars. Really, the problem is the water. You have to section it off, and while you're doing that, you got to keep stopping to go around the edge because guardians are shooting at you and stuff. And you can try to kill them, but there's so much water that they just keep spawning because those are the only areas they can spawn in, and there's so many of them. So I went through a decent chunk of my bow doing that. It was just, I somehow, miraculously, don't ask me how, but I did it without dying. But my goodness, it took a while. So, anyways, that has all been done. I left the very corners of the base level. So any lower than this, as you saw actually, when I started this clip, there's mobs down there and this little ravine canyon type area that was actually full of water. I removed that water as well. But anything lower than this Y level inside this box, mobs will spawn. If you didn't know, mobs will not spawn inside the bounding box of an ocean monument. And these corner blocks mark that box, at least where the monument itself physically was. I haven't measured yet, but according to the wiki, it's 53 by 53 by 23. Based on the center, so I think I'm going to be measuring this out. It's sadly, you guys, as I mentioned earlier this episode, I said this feels like one of those episodes that's going to take a lot longer than I think it will, and that is true. This took a lot longer than I thought it would. I've already got a bunch of footage. The video's already running a little bit long, and unfortunately, we had some server issues this week that it's not a big deal or anything like that. It just it made it so that I couldn't do this during the week and then build the farm during the weekend like I planned. I ended up having to do this during the weekend. So if I'm going to get this video out in time, we're going to have to go ahead and call that an episode, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't know a lot about ocean monuments, I hope you learned something a little bit about them. And if you know more about them than me, please, by all means, leave a comment down in the description. Let me know. Also, let me know what you think about stuff going on out here. And, you know, there's other primers, of course. Links are in my description. Go follow their channels, subscribe to everybody. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.